Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel Prep World. In this video, we will be continuing with our series of IELTS speaking mock test. We will be discussing certain topics that are really difficult to answer and will tell you how to make your answer go from band 6 to band 8. So, without any much ado, let's start. Hi, may I know your full name please?
Hi, my name is Isha.
Hi Isha, I will be your examiner for your IELTS speaking test today. So, let's start with part 1. Okay, Isha, today we will be talking about some things regarding decision and decision making. So, the first question that I want to ask you is, do you find it easy or difficult to make decisions?
I would say it depends on the situation. For everyday choices like what to eat or wear, I decide quickly. But when it comes to life-changing decisions, I do take time. I tend to weigh the pros and cons carefully, which sometimes makes the process slower.
Okay, so what kind of decisions do you usually make in your daily life?
Most daily decisions are practical, like managing my schedule, choosing meals, or prioritizing tasks at work. I also decide how to balance social time with personal time, which requires some planning.
Okay, so have you ever made a decision which you regretted later on?
Yes, once I declined an opportunity to intern abroad because I felt underprepared. In hindsight, I think I let fear hold me back. Although I've moved past it, I do wonder how that experience might have helped me grow.
Okay, so next question. Do you prefer making decisions alone or you prefer discussing it with someone?
I usually like to discuss important decisions with someone I trust, like my parents or a close friend. Getting another perspective helps me avoid blind spots. But ultimately, I trust my instincts when making the final call.
That was well structured. Isha's use of real life examples gave a depth to her answers. She even inculcated positive as well as negative challenges that came across her way. This makes the answer more relatable and structured. Now, Isha, let's move on to part 2. This is a cue card question. I will be giving you a cue card. You will have 1 minute to think over the pointers and then you have to speak for at least 2 to 3 minutes.
One difficult decision I had to make was whether to leave my stable job in Delhi to pursue a master's degree abroad. I had been working for about 3 years in a reputed firm and was financially comfortable, but I always wanted to study international business and explore global career options. What made it tough was the uncertainty, leaving a job during an economic downturn, moving to a new country, and the fear of things not going as planned. My parents were also concerned, which added emotional pressure. After months of research and internal debates, I decided to go for it. I applied to universities in Canada, got accepted, and moved to Toronto. It was scary in the beginning, but today I feel that it was one of the best choices I ever made. It taught me to trust myself and take calculated risks. I learned that growth comes without discomfort, and sometimes you need to let go of stability to reach something better.
It was a really beautiful answer. Did you notice how Isha spoke with clarity and kept a clear timeline in her answer? The use of phrase growth comes with discomfort really gave a push to her answer. Okay, now let's move on to part 3. Here we will be discussing few questions on the basis of your part 2 answer. What are some of the biggest decisions people usually face in their life?
Some of the biggest decisions people face, including choosing a career path, deciding whom to marry, buying a home, or even relocating to a new country. These choices often shape the course of someone's life, so they naturally come with a lot of pressure.
Okay, so do you think young people today face more difficulties while making decisions than their parents did?
Yes, I believe so. Today's world is more fast-paced and competitive. Young people are dealing with academic pressure, career uncertainty, financial burdens, and even social expectations online. The number of choices they have is greater, but that also makes decision-making more complex.
Okay, how important do you think it is to take advice before making any big decisions?
It's quite important, especially when the decision has long-term consequences. Seeking advice can provide new perspectives, reveal risks you hadn't thought of, and help you feel more confident. That said, it's also essential to filter that advice and make the final call yourself.
Do you think decision making is more of a logical process or an emotional process?
I think it's a mix of both. Ideally, decisions should be grounded in logic, based on facts, risks, and outcomes. But emotions do play a role, especially in personal matters. For example, choosing to care for a loved one over accepting a job offer might not make sense on paper, but emotionally it feels right.
Thank you, Isha. That was the end of your IELTS speaking test. Now, did you listen all the answers that Isha gave? The answers were well structured, they were grammatically correct, and they had real life examples to give answers a certain push that examiners like. With that, let's wrap today's episode. I hope you learned how to build a structured answer with impactful vocabulary to make your answer go from band 6 to band 8. Play this video again and try shadowing answers. Pause on the points where you think that we have used impactful vocabulary and note down in your vocabulary bank. In the coming up episodes, we will be taking more difficult topics and we will be telling you how to give the answers correctly. Till then, bye bye.